Kain. Welcome back, everybody, to Relics of the Past. I am joined by Michaeleen, played by the Modern Viking.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Michaeleen of Catalad, it's wonderful to see you.
As well as Rainlow, Rainlow, which is split between Raina and Retlow, played by Ducky.
Hi, it's Ducky.
You cut out.
We are also joined... Rainlow is having a bit of a stroke. We're also joined by Estrella, who is played by the Siren's Teacup, now known as the Book Dragon.
My account got hacked, so I had to start over from the ground up.
Unfortunate news.
Despite everything, I'm still here, and I look forward to seeing you again. I'm not looking forward to seeing the elf again. That red-headed elf bastard. I'm not looking forward to that.
Write everything down.
We are also joined by Count Eiko, played by King Boo.
Hello, everybody. Glad to be back, and I'm here reaching you because of your car's extended warranty.
God.
What is car?
It's like
Abe hasn't invented that yet, okay?
Understand this. Car is spendectula.
We are also
Parrots
starring
and rabbits.
We are also starring Kain, played by Nate Drago.
Kain Volt. Good to see you guys again.
And then there is myself. I am Ace Daredevil. I play Abe, and it is wonderful to see you all again. And finally,
Wow, last name, you're disappointed with the family.
fine, Abe Volt. And last but not least, our wonderful DM, Kobold Salt.
Greetings. I'm the DM for this really weird and wacky game, and I'm looking forward to tonight's session. Is everyone ready?
I believe.
Oh, man, I thought it was going to be Brendan Lee Mulligan.
Look, last minute change. All right, he had to say no. He had some scheduling cancellations.
I have some scheduling stuff. Unfortunately, this burden of a duty falls on my shoulders alone. So I must.
Excuse me.
Look, we tried to get Matt Mercer.
Cheers.
Unfortunately, he had prior obligations.
He was being getted.
Something about a critical role or something like that.
Yeah, quick roll, something of that nature. Anyway.
Sadly, we're stuck with this.
All right.
So
Where
then,
did we leave off, oh beautiful DM?
Thank you.
You're
You jumped level 20 on the spot for that.
Damn it.
Wait, what?
Kiss ass.
I kid.
Anyways, let's continue with the recap.
So then, last session we left off with the gala that you guys were invited to. The party went relatively well. It was maybe an hour in, but tragedy. Well, no. Before. The hands of fate told for something.
Gather your thoughts.
Today, Junior.
I'm trying new methods, okay?
You're welcome to try new methods, but try them another time.
Hey, at least I'm jumping directly to this, okay?
Hey, did you guys see in the background? I see Diddy. Behind you, Salt.
Let's continue.
Anyway,
There, now I can't hear him. So, when we last left off, the party was invited to a gala by King Merrick himself. The gala was maybe an hour into the thing before the party realized, or Eiko got to meet Kezes, face to face and in person for the first time.
I didn't know it was that Kezes. I thought it was a common name.
When Eiko realized that Kezes was the person that penned a great many letter 2. when he worked out deals with the Lion Dynasty of the Beastman territories. He did not realize it was the same one. He always assumed it was someone else. At least. He never got a name from the person he dealt with, but he assumed it was someone else, not that it was Kezes. Afterwards, Kezes took his leave and proceeded to go search out for his favorite plaything. We ended up, the camera ends up panning from that and going to Abe, as he's talking up 3 merchants in the main ballroom about a new prospect opening up, being constructed in Mandex. And we also get to see Kain, Retlow, and enjoying themselves with much food and drink. And then Michaeleen and Kezes proceed to have a little chat. After that, but the main thing that kind of ruined the party, as the hands of fate told once more, or our beloved leader, Abe Volt, proceeded to get a bullet through the neck.
That hurt.
And topple down to the
That's
ground.
a skill issue.
Not killing him, but certainly catching him by surprise. Eyes.
May I ask what I missed?
Mostly just a recap
me bullying
of last
Salt, and now me bullying Abe.
Anyway,
Bullied by my own brother.
Have you no shame? He's your brother! You want
Says
to be
the
nice
horny
to him?
bird.
I'm not horny!
It's
No, she's
pronounced
feathery.
horny bard, and you're talking to the wrong person.
Yes, I'm not horny. Far from it, actually.
It's a feathery bird.
Well, unfortunately enough, our bard's currently broken because he refuses to do anything.
I mean, he's playing with a pussy right now.
The pussy's hitting his mic.
Aw, he's a good kitty.
Unfortunately,
He's
Pussy
Nice.
balls.
if that,
Why are you showing us its balls?
well, I didn't know Michaeleen's going that way.
Well, that's one kind of bard.
I know what Michaeleen's into. He likes canaries.
Anyway, besides from
Aw,
that,
what a good kitty.
anyway,
That cow would eat a canary.
Probably
I
would.
know.
Anyway, so everyone
Michaeleen would eat a
proceeds
canary
to-
too.
So, with the party collectively being crashed, as everyone proceeds to retreat back to places of safety, you guys proceed to call in a lift for yourself and head back to your flying ship, the Seraphim. with-
Hold on a second.
I was in pursuit
I've
of that mother.
I've
Oh,
got a
yes.
word or two to say to the king here.
We've all got a
for
couple words
inviting
to
a
say to this
shithead
king.
like
I was literally in pursuit of that guy last session.
Okay then. You know what? I'm gonna start off with Eiko. At least. This is an edit note. Oh, please remove this. But since Eiko kind of got shafted a little bit, I'm gonna give him the spotlight for this episode. Anyway, so then, Eiko, you proceed after you see that Abe is all right for the most part. Besides having a gaping hole now and cables going from a speaker to a to his throat so he can speak at least, is you immediately proceed to sprout ring and proceed to bolt towards where you think those shots came from.
So I've taken my draconic flight. So I am in the air. I am flying. I am casting my blade song. So I am now at 40 for my speed, and I'm going to take the haste action. So I'm now at 80. So I'm just going. I am flying over to that tower as fast as I can.
Yep.
Yep, already going to the couch.
The time it takes you to get there is about, with the sheer speed you're covering, about 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Oh boy.
that's a
That's a really far shot.
Jesus.
You know what? I'm not even upset about being shot anymore. I gotta find this guy and find what gun he has.
That
I think I know.
recruit him because
Above
that's a
board.
talent right there.
I think
I get
know
shot by
who
fucking
has-
Deadshot?
No, but
so-
you got shot by someone pretty close.
No, he got
So
shot by the
I
sniper
am
devil.
at the tower. I am scanning around. I am trying to find
Let me paint
something.
the scene for you, my friend. Let me paint the scene for you, my friend. As you fly up, you find this one lone tower by itself. It's maybe no more than maybe about 5 to 6 feet in diameter, at least. Very tight and narrow. There's a light bit of ladder or brickwork that acts like a ladder to get up to like the top roof section to maybe do repairs on it. But besides from that, at towards the base of it, there is a small hatch that leads down into a building and stuff. And this is kind of almost on warehouse-esque building. You proceed to look around and stuff and see that
Show
this area-
yourself, coward.
all you really hear is the sound of the wind kind of shifting around in this one area. A little bit of you hear possibly a little bit of degree of water, as like there's a canal nearby this building. But as you kind of look around, you get a feeling. Roll me an Arcana check.
Actually, can I do detect magic?
Sure.
Meow meow.
Was there magic?
Sorry, my apologies. As you use the detect magic, you feel there is absolutely residue of magic in this area
Residue.
from a spell being used.
Am I
Or-
able to douse?
Roll me a Arcana check for this.
I will gladly roll you an Arcana check.
feel
Anything
like
for
the
you,
magic-
Mr. Big Man.
Oh my gosh, please, that's my brother!
Yeah, and he's my DM.
And he's my DM too, please, don't seduce the DM!
Okay. Oh boy.
I'm not
So that's
gay.
28. That is
Yes,
28.
Mm.
And
Viking!
anyway, so
He started it. Anyway.
as you kind of start feeling around, getting a feel for the magic, you can tell that it is. You can tell that it was some sort of transportation spell, either teleportation or dimension door, something that allows you to get away quickly. You can't trace it more than that, but you can certainly get the feel of that. But you start putting two together. The sheer distance of the shot at the very tiny area with the teleportation magic. Roll me an investigation check on this area.
I will gladly roll you an investigation check on this area, Mr. Big Man.
Stop it!
That is 21.
21. As you look around and stuff, this area is almost pristine in nature. Well, as pristine as a dirty roof can be, but you do notice a few small hints. You notice that two of the lower tiles and stuff on the slant of this roof and stuff are slightly, barely askew by maybe half an inch or so. Oh, and as you look at them, you can see that there are two almost claw marks kind of dug into them slightly. Ivy, as you kind of start getting you're kind of putting this in your head at least, is that the person was kind of probably sitting down, leaning up against back to stabilize their shot. You also notice that there's a degree of almost like something dusted or wiped away and stuff. You almost think kind of looks like a cloth, maybe like they were wearing a cloak, possibly. And these various factors trying to piece into mind and stuff. It's wait a minute. You know this handiwork. You've seen it before.
Roll history.
Sure.
Oh boy. Oh, holy shit, another 19 plus. So he was doing history. Super. Okay, so that's 28 again.
28.
Holy crap.
Okay. You recognize this handiwork and stuff to a name. Spectre Vale. Now, you don't know much about them, but you know that they are a very well-renowned in the underworld and stuff as a very top tier assassin for doing various kinds of jobs. And
They've been hired by the Order, haven't they? Well, in the past.
yes,
Oh,
Oh no.
The
Oh.
Order of Aethor?
no.
Different order?
We'll find out.
Ah.
Oh no. I don't like where this is going.
looks like tonight there will be a degree.
It's the Order of Diddy.
Oh,
God.
it's worse. It's worse.
Where that baby on
Hey.
Oh,
Stop it!
no.
Diddy again.
You heathen!
If you
You
mention Diddy again, I'll
No.
permanently decrease your charisma by 1 point.
Permanently, what? Sorry, I don't
What'd you say?
speak your language.
If you say Diddy or make any form of Diddy joke and such, I will permanently decrease your charisma by 1 point.
Noted.
May I at least have a pass with this one thing? One thing.
Did
Dave,
he?
I would love for you. This is a little editor's note. Can you put like an image of P Diddy, but like put Aiko's face over it where P Diddy's face was?
I don't like that. I don't like that. That implies so much about Eiko that I don't want.
No, it's not. It's. I just think that just looks stupid
I know.
as shit.
Eiko is the top trader of baby oil in the world.
That's his special
All right,
deal with Kezes.
Let's move
Oh
on.
my God.
Do you think
I
this
hate
is
you.
true?
That's how he's so smooth and shiny.
So, okay. So remind me the name.
Spectre Vale.
How would I spell this? I'm gonna take notes.
And I actually have stuff pulled up for once. So, Spectre Vale. SPECTRVEIL.
Spectre Vale. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Almost sounds like a comic book character name.
No, that's Mark Spector. You're confused. I know this.
Genuine non-inspired.
Shit. I'm gonna try and now make my way back. Well, now I can't cast my draconic flight now, so I'm gonna have to walk all the fucking way there.
You
Yeah. Every step. That's what Eiko sounds like. Yeah.
I thought that was Gub Gub.
would it be reasonable to say that you guys had the earrings, you just didn't have them, weren't wearing them, at least? Would that be reasonable to say?
Yeah, we have them. We'd probably have them ready.
So you guys have.
Oh,
so you guys have the
the earrings?
At all time. Yeah. So so everyone has the earring at all time. Just for this party, you were not wearing them.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna need to regroup.
Yup.
You.
I'm gonna laugh if
You
it takes you
simply-
less time to walk back than it did to fly there.
I already cast Draconic Flight. I can only do that once.
No, I know. I'm saying I'm gonna laugh if it takes you less time to walk back
Give me
Then it took you
literally 10 minutes.
than it took you to fly there. It took you 30 minutes to fly to a tower, so it only takes you 5 to walk back.
All right, it's gonna take me a while. 1 step, 2 steps,
Anyway,
3 steps.
during all this,
4.
at least the party is certainly reacting to everything. At least, but you can already kind of feel your body starting to regenerate a little bit, but the vocal box was properly removed. You're gonna have to replace it when you get back to the ship. But your temporary one will be sufficient. I will. Again, I'm trying to let you guys play the scene out yourself.
So, okay. So, Abe is probably still on the balcony. I'm sure everyone around him has run in horror.
Yeah.
Has anybody else come out to the balcony?
Estrella goes out to the balcony and she's kind of looking around in the crowd amongst the fleeing people, and she's looking for someone. And she's definitely very visibly panicked.
With that, okay.
You know what? Can I take the haste option again while I'm under my blade song? It would take me an hour to get back.
And this goes without saying, but Estrella is still in her quail disguise. She's been in it this whole time, and I will be right back. I have to hit the restroom and grab more food.
Okay. So it's going to take me an hour to get myself back.
Sure. During of which, at least, I'm gonna say the entire party is together and stuff, besides Eiko, who searched out the sniper's nest. And is collectively very worried. The king himself, okay. The king himself was escorted off grounds because that's just standard procedure, but a soldier does come by and stuff to check on you guys specifically, and specifically you, Abe. Abe, the king sent me and stuff. He wants to make sure if you're all right, Sir Abe.
Oh, trust me, I'm fine. It's just annoying. I'm gonna have to fix a voice box I haven't touched in years.
Okay. Hey, the king did tell me to relay a message. He would have wanted to come check himself, but due to the whole sniper, we don't know if they are going to take more shots or not. So yeah, he's been escorted back to the palace for safety.
I thought we determined last time that due to Abe being both biological and mechanical, that could just be repaired with healing and mending.
It's technically still a mechanical component that is fully missing now. So
you're saying it was obliterated?
Yeah, it was obliterated.
Ah, like Michaeleen's leg.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Abe is gonna look down at Rainlow. Rainlow, how much experience do you have with mechanicals?
Enough.
You think you could help me repair the voice box later?
I'll try my best.
Could Kain gather the scraps with his goo?
No, Abe has like spare parts ready.
Times.
It's just
I'm almost there.
He's gonna have to do a little rewiring.
500 more steps.
Yeah, Abe's gonna have to do a little rewiring. It's kind of hard to look and rewire your own neck.
Yeah.
And Rainlow has
not
small
hard to
little
shape.
hands. It'll be easy.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. How far can you go with your nanites? Like, what are you capable of doing with them? Can you freeform them?
First
For the
off,
most
there's
part,
no
yes.
such thing as nanites.
You know what I'm talking about, Salt.
His regeneration.
The morphing.
No, his fucking morphing shit.
Oh, morphing. Oh.
Could you, per se, move your eyes to there? Like, on your arm? On another set of arms? Like, I don't see why there's a reason you can't.
Put this way, he very much
Just
could.
put your hands here, just shoot.
Okay, put this way, he very much could, but it's still very awkward to work on himself. It's easier to have someone else do it because, again, changing his perspective does make it slightly easier, but it's still awkward as sin.
Well, no, I'm saying, like, he could literally have his eyes on some limbs on one arm here, have one arm split into two arms, and still just...
You mean like eyes on the palms of my hands, like in Pan's Labyrinth?
Not so much on the palms of your hands, but, like, think your one arm splits into two, like General Grievous-esque, to work on your neck, and your other arm will hold your eyes so that you can do it.
Anyway, how much progress am I making to go over there now?
You a slow ass bitch.
It took you 30 minutes
I'm an old
to get
man.
there and stuff. You're maybe 5 minutes back.
Can I get an escort, maybe? Like, is there a guard who finds me? Old man unaccompanied. I have a cane. There was an assassination attempt. Hello?
You're wandering the streets at night.
I'm very tempted to play into this bit. Should I play into this bit?
You're more than
We
welcome
should
to,
move
but not for
on.
too long. Well, yeah, we should move on.
Okay. Okay, Eiko, as you're doing that and stuff, all of a sudden you look down an alleyway and see what looks like to be thugs. Camera pans away.
I'm not gonna walk down the alleyway. What do you think I am, stupid?
Back to the main palace.
I have, like, maxed out intelligence as one of my stats. What do you mean?
Hey, you can be book smart and not street smart.
My wisdom is literally 16. I'm fucking smart.
Book smart is different from street smart.
It appears that my
That's what wisdom is. Street smart.
Wait,
Michaeleen,
what was that?
quiet.
It appears that my nephew has decided to join me because there's a cat in my room now.
Ah,
Gotcha.
but
Okay.
How much are you gonna have to censor yourself?
Like 80% of the way.
Could you not just request him to leave?
That call was probably from his parents saying, hey, he's going to chill in there with you.
There's a cat.
Would I be correct in that assumption?
Just continue.
Okay then.
Gotcha.
Well, thank you for at least giving us the information. So then, to paint the scene for you at least, so what you didn't miss is when you run up and stuff to check to see what's happening, you see that Abe is kind of like, what would you say on? Oh no, you're on your feet now because you had to get up and stuff to get the speaker
Yeah.
and stuff. So you see Abe at least. Kain, I guess say right as you see Abe kind of getting up and Eiko bolts off, and then you see him do the whole speaker emergency voice box thing with one of the speakers, jabbing cables into his throat. Ultimately, so you have a rough image of that. And currently, you were kind of one of the few people that was surrounding him when the whole thing. A guard came by, basically saying, "Hey, King sent me to come check on you." Or at least he had to be rushed back for safety's sake, and kind of waiting for a response.
I did not know that your king sat with monsters in men's flesh.
The guard proceeds to look very confused with that comment. What do you mean?
One of the guests here, one of the guests here, a warlord by the name of Kesses Indrath. And he gives the knight a very cold look, like the nobility that rubs shoulders with the likes of Kesses really rubs Michaeleen the wrong way.
Well, put simply, Lord Kazas is nothing but charitable towards Viril. But if you have ill will towards him, I will not pry, but I don't see what to dislike about him.
Where is Kain in regards to this? Because I would like to walk up and say he's a giant piece of shit.
You kind of got alerted by this when people started running, and you basically walked in the opposite direction to see what's going on. You see your brother currently standing there holding a speaker with cables going into his throat.
Why? What the fuck did I miss?
As you see, the guard just kind of turn around, and he does kind of like put hand on sword, almost ready to fight and Kain walks over, but he does.
Dude, put the sword down or I will end you myself. I am checking on my brother.
His armor is now very loudly shaking and stuff, as it almost jingles and jangles.
Is there a puddle forming yet? Because I'll make a puddle form.
Roll
Not yet.
intimidation.
But
You know,
no, I'm gonna continue and just walk over towards these guys.
Intimidation's really the only thing you need. You can intimidate rocks into moving. You can
Anyway.
intimidate doors into opening.
Anyway,
You
Am
can
I
intimidate people
almost
into
here?
not
moving on, please. By the way, Eiko, you're now 8 minutes into your walk back.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
So wait, so how close am I to the Michaeleen conversation?
You put it this way, you're basically in the circle of people and stuff around Abe at the moment.
Oh.
Eiko centered episode my ass.
So who was talking about that asshole Kezas?
I was.
Oh yeah, he's a giant piece of shit. King shit at Turd Mountain.
You're absolutely right.
Can't exactly argue with you.
Scary. And he's very scary.
Yeah, we'll kill him eventually. Don't worry about it.
I hope so.
Right. I'm going to say everyone proceeds to Abe. I presume it would be a reasonable time. I'm gonna jump skip just a little bit.
Fucking hell.
So, do I not make it back to the gang, or?
So
Fast forward, you make it back.
Abe proceeds to call in a ship, basically longboats, picks the entire crew up. They track your ass down with your earring and pick you up. You guys all collectively head back.
About
Beat me
damn
up,
time.
Scotty.
Don't talk to me.
After
The old
Abe,
man's a little ornery.
Just a little bit. Are we all caught up though? Or like, are we all together now?
yes,
If I remember rightly, Estrella was with Abe in her quail form and she was kind of looking around for someone. Very much trying to prevent herself from having a panic attack, but
I think at this point time has kind of skipped forward and we're all together, but all of the party guests are pretty much gone at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now we're standing on the balcony of an empty ballroom.
Estrella's still looking around though.
Well, you guys actually are on a
You know the
skip
room's
moving
empty.
towards the ship at the moment.
Oh, we're on a skiff moving towards the ship. Okay.
Yeah, to your home. So you guys proceed to head back there. Within the following day, like literally the next day.
Wait,
itself-
can I at least convey what I saw on the
Oh,
skiff?
yeah, sure. Boat ride from
Yes.
skip to ship.
Eiko, I couldn't find him, but I know. I have a gut feeling I know who was just behind that.
I'm surprised I got shot so early. I was expecting this to happen later.
I was expecting this to be a target onto me, considering who this person is. I recognize the handiwork. Every time somebody uses magic, it's always a little different for everybody else, like a thumbprint. Say, each one a little different. Now,
Are you guys?
I know who this is. His name is Spectre Vale. Spectre Vale was a hired hit that I, in a past time, have worked with, unfortunately, in my past endeavors. Why he's after you, I'm not sure. But I know one thing for sure, he will try this again.
I mean, I can think of a couple reasons.
Maybe
why.
not immediately. But he's relentless.
I see. I can think of a couple of reasons as to why this happened, but still, much earlier than I expected.
And
It might be to target me, perhaps. Maybe he's picking everyone off before he gets to me and taunts me from some... I don't know. Someone.
we have to watch out. The House of Montague is here. I recognized one of the guests. Though it appeared they didn't recognize me, but
There were a lot of bad people there.
No
Remember
shit,
what I
it
said
almost
initially?
Seems like all of our enemies showed up at the same goddamn place.
I don't
Remember
have
what I
an
said
enemy.
earlier about
Oh, you have
the
one.
upper
Just hasn't
crust?
shown up yet.
Wait, what?
Remember
Don't
what I
remember?
said about the... Remember what I said about the upper crust?
Vaguely.
Well, it was pretty much explaining that.
Gotcha.
Trust no one. It's vicious.
Clearly.
You'd think, oh, wonderful, I've now inherited money and status and a title. No, you've inherited
a target on your
a
back.
shared community of evil.
I see.
And that's the thing about that community. They will not hesitate to eat their own.
And I should know. I can't quite run from my past, it seems.
A shared community. DM, Abe is going to think on something real quick, and you probably understand what.
We need a suit of armor around the world.
Funny quote. I'm going to say collectively at this point, the party makes it back to their ship. Everyone kind of slightly sombered. Jeff's at the bar practicing more mixology. And we proceed to go to the next morning. At least. Inks. Abe, you're the first one to be notified of this. But the scanners, or anyway, they end up picking up some sort of small small something coming towards the thing. You look over the thing and see that's a rider on a horse and stuff. Looks like to be a scout, military scout of some kind, and wearing the markings of Viril and their colors, so you recognize it as a partial friend. They proceed to get Neon bring a message at least, or deliver basically a small box, maybe about yay-ish big, and it's completely cube all the way around, on all sides. Has a bit of a light decoration stuff, but not too fancy overall, with a small clasp up front. Here, I was sent to deliver this to you, and proceed to run back from the king himself. It gets brought inside, and you guys...
What it should be is compensation. Anyone, status like that, knows that they need to compensate.
How exactly would they compensate if I had died?
Oh, they
Oh,
would've
here's a couple
compensated with their
bucks. Sorry
entire
about your
kingdom.
loss.
You'd think that's a joke, but pretty much that is what would happen in some scenarios.
Ah, that's fucking douchey.
A lot of people throw money at their issues.
But
I call it cowardice.
Sometimes even the money's not enough.
No.
No, it's never enough. It's just a formality, shall we say. Everything is a form of transaction to high society. That's all everything is transaction.
And those that are beneath you are little more than the dirt beneath your heels. They're exploitable, or their entertainment.
I'm ashamed to say that I at some point had shared that view.
I couldn't share that view despite the fact that the House of Montague tried to teach me that.
Now, Abe, if if we're going to go down and speak with the new king, I don't want to seem overbearing, but I highly advise that I join you. And in a sense, shall we say, pull a couple strings.
None of you have looked at the box yet, or what's inside.
Estrella sees the box and her guts just start twisting and prickling like, danger, Will Robinson, danger!
Well,
Abe's going to open the box.
I can tell you this.
Estrella
My
will
dick
point
in
out-
a box.
There's one or two things that this could be. A lot of money. Or a garden party to make up for the event that was ruined.
Or
Honestly,
it
I
could
think I'd
be
take the
some-
money over anything else.
Or it could be a message. And Estrella opens up the box.
Abe was the one that said he opened up the box, so he opens up. You proceed to undo the clasp, and inside, there's a bit of a somewhat pretty-looking red cloth. You undo it and see a somewhat blue-tinted crystal sphere sitting in the box.
It's not money.
Well, it's either one of two things, as I said. I'm gonna investigate this sphere.
Estrella investigates as well, because
Well, you look
Abe
at
lost
Are you
it.
gonna
interest
do
since
the
it's not
assist
money.
action? Are you gonna do the assist action?
Estrella lifts up the crystal ball.
Oh, I was gonna. Okay. I guess I'll do the assist option on you then. So Estrella can roll with advantage on investigation.
Okay, good, because
Okay.
that was a shitty 11. That was an 11. Speaking of, I need to put this in my lap. I got distracted by strawberry ice cream sundae. Anyway,
I didn't know. Sis, please fucking focus.
I am focusing. I just
you're
multitasked
not.
a little bit. Alright, so that's an 18 for my advantage roll, plus 18, 19, 20 on investigation. What's this crystal ball? Who's it from?
Okay. The second you pick the ball up and stuff, it begins glowing ever so slightly, and slightly hovers off your hat, but only maybe about an inch or so, and proceeds to project an image into the open air, at least. It starts off a little fuzzy, but then comes into frame. At least you see that a light-based projection, a hologram, if you will, of the king has been recreated with this item. I am most dreadfully sorry about what happened at the gala and stuff. I take full responsibility. I did not take proper safety precautions. Abe. I am offering an invitation to my personal garden in my palace. Alice to discuss, possibly continue discussing those. The rough agreement we had. We weren't able to speak at the gala like I wished. Yes.
Quick question: did Rainlow help Abe fix his neck yet?
I'm going to say it's you still running off.
Definitely.
You're still running off the speaker for right now.
How long has it been since the incident, real quick?
It was at night. I'm gonna say late, about 8. Maybe
Is it the next day or the same day?
morning of the next day.
Oh yeah, there's no way that isn't fixed. One, he had spare ones. Two, he had 2 people working on it. There's no way in hell it ain't done.
Sure, we can just say it's fixed. Anyway, so it is fixed.
Okay.
Between healing magic and mending, it's definitely fixed at this point.
Anyway, Abe.
Still kind of wish it was money, but I guess you were right, Eiko. It's a god.
What did I say? One of the two.
It's a garden
But
party.
the best thing about a garden party
Food?
is, yes, this food. But for
Yes,
me,
absolutely, there will be food.
it's
Reno.
the bartering.
What do you mean by that?
Well, oftentimes, for garden parties, there's always some sort of key message you need to listen in on and reply in a way, and land dealings can be made.
Garden parties are also where
We're gonna be compensated. I'm gonna be compensated.
exactly. What can we give you to make this whole little ordeal blow over like it never
But
happened?
that's the thing. You gotta catch them the way they're saying it. A little
Well-
thing known as Aristocat, if you may.
Think of it this way.
Aristocats?
Not cats. Can't. Like thieves can't. This language of thieves.
Okay.
And then there's Aristocat. The language of the will.
Well, we wouldn't know anything about that.
The king is still there as you guys say this.
You said it's a hologram.
I thought this
It's
was
not
a
a
It's
call.
a
recorded
hologram,
thing.
not a recorded message.
Oh,
I
why
didn't
didn't
wanna-
you
I didn't wanna-
specify?
Yeah, I was figuring this was just a message, not a call.
I thought this was just a message. In that case,
Wait, did we get an orb of commune?
Yep, that's what we got. We're bound.
oh, for fuck's sake.
I'm saying
take
this
back
above
nothing.
board. I'm saying this above
All right.
board.
All right.
Let's
I
say this
take back
above
no, I
board.
take back nothing. I take
gonna
back
say- I take
nothing.
everything.
I use a point of inspiration to make the king
I-
forget about this entire thing.
Okay.
I'm
I
using
think
point of
okay. I reacted as king to Renlo's food. Yes, Renlo, there will be food. I deliberately answered that.
I don't know.
Dude,
I
your
still heard you.
This is pretty similar to
I
your
just
normal
heard you.
voice.
I'm sorry, I'm not the best at doing voices.
I read the context. I should have said something. My bad. I just figured y'all also read the context.
Fuck no.
I have two
Reading
brain
context
cells.
is something I'm not good
One's
at as an
lost and the other
autistic
one's looking
person.
for. What do you expect of me?
Yeah,
I'm too focused on flipping this bat.
Honestly, the one person I would expect it to go over his head and stuff would be Kain. He has 2 brain cells, but the fight for 3rd place.
So
This is the name
can
of
I,
no
can I,
bitches.
can I,
All
can
right.
I, is there anything I can do outside to basically negate my hilarious psycho spiel of the wealthy?
The wealthy.
Honestly, no, fuck it. Let the king know that we're coming for his fucking property. Hippity hoppity, you are now my property.
Oh no!
I would not
Slavery?
recommend this.
Please don't.
Enjoy.
But
Please don't. Please don't. If we do this, we could paint a target on our backs and even bigger one than there already
Okay.
is.
No,
Sorry,
they're already
okay.
afraid of us as is.
Guys, what is one thing about Viril that I hammered through about them? What
They're
is
weak.
one thing about them? No.
They do not have a good budget.
They have a shitty military.
Okay, what is Mandex known for?
I don't fucking remember.
Assassination attempts.
Lying, cheating, and stealing.
Yeah.
Viril is the complete opposite about them. They
So
don't do that. They physically don't.
honesty, generosity.
Honesty,
Yeah,
generosity,
honestly-
and integrity.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Except they deal with all the people who lie, cheat, and steal.
Like
Because they
Kazas.
have to.
They lie about honesty, integrity, and compassion.
And they apparently have dealings with the House of Montague, which I'm not surprised by.
So they're with all of the shitheads.
They don't know their
Anyways.
shithead.
So, I could either just say it's a pre-record message, or we can go like proper reaction.
Or
Pre-recorded
Or
message, please.
I
Pre-
can
no,
I, wait. can I do
pre-recorded
something?
message, and yes, the king already knew Rainlow was going to ask about food.
Yes, let's go with that. That's more funny. That's more funny.
Sure.
Pre-recording.
Sure.
Perfect.
Let's go with that.
Oh. Oh, I'm so cold.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, Renlo, can you do the whole like food thing one more time?
All I care about is food.
Yes, Renlo, there will be food.
Hot diggity damn.
Wait, this is a recording. Did he just know?
I think he may
I
have.
think I'm just that obvious.
Well, you are very small and you do have a very big appetite.
I have way more than just a big appetite.
That is true.
You eat
That
more
is
than most
true.
Cyclops.
And to
Well,
the
I feel like you could eat
Yeah,
and
I can pack it away.
Yeah.
There is one last part of the message and stuff. You might be wondering how I might know. Said things I have reports from the servants that the sheer volume of food that was consumed by the small kobold. So I presumed and stuff. So normally reflavoring. Leave out, not.
Derp nugget.
I'm trying here, okay?
Derp nugget.
It basically gives a date of basically roughly by next week and stuff, you guys should be able to come over. Currently hot, again, with the whole sniper attack, don't know how hot it is right now, so gonna wait a week to see how things pan out. So, basically the following start of the next week is when the garden party is going to happen. You guys have
All right, long rest, everybody.
big long rest.
Does Estrella notice anything different in her room?
Nothing at all.
She's now on high alert.
Just saying.
I will
think
say
we can also take a moment, discuss what happened as characters.
Yeah. I want to say also, no one should ever really find anything different inside the Seraphim anymore, because after Kezes sneaking a note into Michaeleen's room, everything is constantly on high security on the exterior, so that nobody can get in without being authorized.
You've never
My
met.
question is, how did he even get up there?
You've never met the House of
Who
Lords.
said it was him?
Abe.
That was him.
You've never been.
What did
you've
I
never met.
miss? I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Basically, we got a
King
message from the king inviting us to a garden party, and he already knew that Retlo was going to ask about food.
It was a recording.
So we are planned for to go to a garden party with the king in the next week, because right now tensions are still high. So, right now we're basically taking a long rest, and we're going to regroup and discuss essentially what happened at the party.
Estrella is very much on high alert, slightly paranoid, and is incubating the egg as sort of she's doing it out of stress.
So
I'll say
Rose blanket.
Eiko is kind of cleaning his sword and maintaining it, making his way over to regroup with everybody on the main deck.
Okay.
yeah, Abe would currently be in the helm, still working on the table.
Of course.
Mick
With-
would be in the. He'd be in the greenhouse, just looking for solace in the tree that was planted.
I'm trying to remember, what was the size on that plant last time?
It had grown into a sapling,
About how tall?
about up to Michaeleen's shoulder.
Shoulder, okay. At this point, it's grown up maybe about 6 more inches higher, and it's finally starting to put out branches.
Michaeleen is going to just start imbuing the soil with his own magic to help it grow along, and we can move on from that.
The party, so above board at least, the party, you guys can just chill on the full-on week for the ship, and just wait it out, or you guys can go into town to do a degree of shopping while you wait.
Estrella is going to go
The
do a little
king
bit of
cannot-
shopping.
again, the message mainly said the king can't really do anything due to the whole sniper shot, but that isn't restricting you guys. Yeah. Yes, Ducky.
I vote shopping above board.
Estrella's
not,
already gonna be
Then,
going.
like, we don't have to, but I have shit I need to get.
So then,
Yes.
Ducky, Estrella, were you voting shopping as well?
Yes.
Okay,
I
so
go and
Ducky
get
and
a few
Estrella.
more decks of cards.
I could use some new clothes. My old ones don't really fit no more.
Abe's gonna stay.
4
on the
for
ship.
shopping.
I don't
also-
think Aiko's gonna go shopping.
Speaking of ship, how's Rexy's progress?
Abe's
I
focused
need
on
to
the
grab a
table.
blanket. I'm cold.
And you took Rexy prematurely.
He was basically
take-
C-3PO in the Phantom Menace.
Yeah, but I figured he could work. You could work on him again. You know, I was playing
We're
with him
doing-
because
we're
nobody
doing-
else would interact with me.
Anyway, so the party proceeds to gather up and head towards the heads back towards the city of the capital of Viril.
At least part of the party.
Yeah, part of the party does.
Abe and I
As
go stay on
only-
the ship.
So then, once the ship the skip proceeds to land and stuff. Renlo, you immediately kind of hop out and you already have in mind and stuff where you want to go and stuff. And you immediately start looking for the shop.
The said lizard will absolutely leave the rest of the party in the dust unless they can like keep up, and that is just because they're so used to working alone and just weaving through a crowd they don't even remember to let people follow them. So if y'all want to go to the same place as me, try to keep up.
Perception check for those who want to chase.
Yeah.
Okay.
Estrella's
I know at least one other person can see this and stuff, so the knowledge can be spread.
If we're rolling, that's a 9 for perception.
That's a natural 1. Michaeleen don't see shit.
Damn.
In fact, Michaeleen is doing his best Stevie Wonder impression.
Well, it's
That's
official.
just
We've lost
funny
our
as hell.
child.
That's
We've
just
lost
funny as hell.
We've lost our strawberry Pop-Tart kobold. Oh dear.
Oh my god, they really are strawberry Pop-Tart kobold.
Or they're like the filling of a strawberry cream pie from McDonald's.
They're a toaster strudel. They're a toaster kobold. Strawberry and cream flavored. Part of this
No.
complete breakfast.
No.
Five
Oh,
Guys
boy.
mascot.
No.
What about Abe? What about Abe?
She's a strawberry Pop-Tart kobold. And we'll leave
Abe,
it.
if I'm correct, you joined in shopping?
No.
No, Abe
Nope,
and
I stayed on
Eiko
the ship.
stayed on the Seraphim.
Okay. Kain, you checking for... Okay.
Yeah, I'm
So-
gonna go look for some clothes, I guess.
Estrella's going to find the nearest bookstore.
So then, everyone proceeds to split up and go to the various shops.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm gonna
Yes, Eiko?
go do a little parkour around the city. See what
Sorry. It's just Discord booted me from my phone, so I had to.
I don't know about you
And
guys.
I'm.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm gonna do a little parkour around the city and see what I can see.
Sure. As you, Anyway, so then, everyone proceeds to go to the various things. Kain, you go walking around. You're certainly having, like, as you walk through, like, this crowd of people and stuff, they're making, like, parting and moving around away from you. In turn, are you staying near anyone, or are you just going to the shop by yourself?
It's probably not a good idea that I go by myself. Maybe I should.
You know what? Scratch the parkour. Michaeleen will keep an eye on him.
Yeah, have the smooth talker go with the very intimidating man.
How about this? Let's compromise. You're still
Yeah,
doing
I'll lend
parkour.
Michaeleen my hat for a while because it's kind of
Okay.
useless for me right now.
So,
Great, you turned Michaeleen into a lackadaisy.
anyway, Michaeleen, I'm going to say this. You are still doing parkour, but you're staying specifically near Kain, just above, kind of looking down. At least in case something comes in. So if you see someone like moving towards him, that might cause an issue. You immediately drop down, like smooth out the situation. So guardian angel style.
Right, so I'm basically shadowing the Shadow Man.
Yes, shadowing the Shadow Man.
You are the shadow for the shadow.
Born by the shadow, die by the shadow.
That would imply Kain is my
Arise.
father, so no. Oh, we're doing the arise thing?
Oh, I will be.
Later on.
Arise.
Hoorah!
I like a Whopper with.
Anyway, so
King.
I'm just gonna kind of focus the camera on Ducky for a little bit. So, Ducky, you proceed to duck and weave through and stuff, and then you proceed to walk down one street, but then proceed to immediately stop and take a few steps back and then turn around. And you see it. A brightly colored purple building and stuff with very bright, obvious decorations and signage and stuff, with a big sign on it that says Alexander's. And next to this one, at least you notice that the end of like one of the eaves actually has a very faint star, almost kind of decoration resting on the bottom of the eve. You haven't seen that before on other Alexanders before. This is like the first time you're seeing this.
Don't mind if I do.
Oh no!
Straight
It's a
on
franchise.
in.
So then you proceed to walk inside, and the store is very similar to many Alexanders you've been to. You have various shelves and pieces of items all throughout, but there is a very round room with two pillars that go up, and then a set of staircases that curl up to the next thing, and the main desk there. But next to looking inward, next to the left-hand pillar, which is about maybe 8 feet-ish away from the door diagonally, seems to be a small table with what looks like to be a handful of tiles in a hexagonal grid around it. At least. As you proceed to enter the shop and stuff, a very flamboyant looking half-blood tabaxi proceeds to walk down. Welcome to Alexander's and stuff. What can I get for you today?
Well,
Above board, yes.
Go ahead.
Above board. By half-blood tabaxi, are we talking
Neko,
full
Neko.
furry, half furry, or like Michaeleen Neko?
Okay. Remember, you are half-blood. So, half-blood means half human, half beast man. Light blood is more beast man, but thinner fur, touch more humanoid.
So he is basically he's basically a Mick.
You're a Mick. Yeah, he's a Mick. Half-blood always means half.
But he's
and
always
stuff.
but he's stylish.
Yeah, very stylish and poofy.
Fluffy tail.
Not just because and stuff. He's
What kind of cat is he? Because Michaeleen is
similar to bugs.
orange tab.
Orange tabby cat.
But fluffy?
Big fluffy orange tabby.
He has short, long hair, if that makes sense. It's very poofy and stuff, but it's stylized and stuff, so it looks nice, but poof. Welcome to Alexander's. What can I get started for you?
so, I have these coupons. What I really need is a decent shield. So,
Well, we have plenty in stock. Proceeds to snap his fingers as shelving units and displays proceed to collapse down into the floor, and then all various manners of shield racks and stuff with shields on them proceed to pop out of the floor.
Rainlow takes a step back, like, oh my god.
We have many shields of various kinds. What can I get you, my dear?
The way I fight, I need something to carry with me. But also, if I need to be completely standalone, it's big enough to help me with that too. So something that shifts, maybe.
Ah, I see. Well, there are a few things that could be like that, but these might be something to your liking. He proceeds to flick his wrist, and a few of the shelving units proceed to pull back and slide to the side as some get pushed forward, other ones get closed up and lift up and shift around again. Again, this thing is like a giant tackle box that shapes itself to what's needed.
Weird.
Above board.
I love it.
Yes.
Editor's note, you can take this out if you want. I have a fantastic idea for a shield for you. A shield that can create 2 different etheric shields. It's like a big tower shield, so it can create like a mini phalanx.
Oh, that would be cool. Like spectral shield.
I'll save that for later. Anyway, you find what look like to be a few couple different shields, a few round shields, a few kite shields, and 1 square shield. At least these are known as shifting shields. They can shift size between as small as a buckler, picking up the round one, that's about the size of buckler, and then shift, and it shifts to the size of a normal battle shield. At least. These are rather useful in various cases. Nice and small and portable, so you can carry them around rather easily, but then if you need the extra defense, and you can pull them out at a moment's notice.
That thing does not
All
follow
right.
the laws of physics at all. It clearly gains and loses mass.
All right. I don't know which one to pick.
Well, to put simply, a base simple model that goes between the 2 forms starts at the base price of 500 gold. If you'd like one of slightly better quality of +1 or more, that's a +1 would be 1,000 gold.
Hold on, let me look at my coupons.
Shuffles around and kind of like looks it up.
Give me one of your better ones.
Oh, okay then. As you wish. He proceeds to shift these things, and another rack proceeds to the one that you're looking at proceeds to move out of the way, and another one comes up with about 2 shields, a kite shield and a round shield of +1 quality. The round shield has a rough design of like a rough fish, almost. Fish kind of chasing what looks like to be maybe a lure or like a small gemstone, possibly. The other one has a design of what looks like to be maybe a bird or sparrow and stuff with some streamers or something behind it. It looks rather nice. Simple, but nice.
That kite one.
Pretty cool. I'm losing my voice above board. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You could always switch over to Reyna's voice.
I can.
Just,
Good take.
Bless you, Sneezatron.
It's just my soul trying to escape my body. It's fine. I'm fine.
Renlow's gonna cough a couple times, be like, anyway. The kite one looks divine. I think I'd take that one.
Wonderful choice, Matt. Madam and stuff, and kite designs are much more usable for, well... He proceeds to make a faux, like, almost like a weak punching motion and stuff, but you most certainly get the idea.
Yes, you can punch with the flat side of the kite shield, and it is a force multiplier.
Yeah. Or punch with the spike version.
Punch with the spike, it does more damage.
Anyway, but that's besides the point.
So I asked you a question real quick.
Okay, give me a hot second. Again, I have to bounce between multiple things, and I'm trying to.
It's in the chat in here.
Yes, I'm checking it.
To speedline this process, I'm just going to have Rainlow kind of walk around, look around, picked up a specific scarf, because the texture felt really nice and they felt like that was the scarf they needed, and a healer's kit. And they're gonna check out, finish their shit, etc., so we can get
the
this.
The other ventures and stuff are fruitful to their own extent. No magical books or any real noticeable books, just mainly storybooks this time, Estrella. And Kain, you managed to get to the clothing shop and get a degree of lighter, lesser giant's armor, which is nothing fancy, it's just armor made for giant. Basically extra large people and stuff. So now you have a degree of light chest plate to make yourself slightly more armored. In the sense, it's not going to do anything really for your AC.
Oh, I was more looking for clothes than anything, because...
Well, that's the only thing they really had.
Surely there's a tailor in town.
Yeah, that's more what I was looking for, but... I can design the outfit later. We don't need to worry about that. Just...
So then.
Please tell me he's going to have a dapper top hat.
Yes.
No.
Hat and a bow tie.
Anyway.
But Estrella is still in her full quail uniform. She came into the bookstore seeking a little moment. That she's
the next
still,
person to gab is gay.
because she's still listening in and just trying to keep her ears peeled for anything.
The camera proceeds to pan from the party pool in the city to Eiko and Abe.
Abe would currently still be working on the map table.
Eiko's gonna politely knock on the door. Just knock.
We are currently on the helm, so you don't actually have to knock because the door's open.
Oh. Well, he knocks on like the, he lets him know he's coming in. He knocks on the doorway.
Gotcha.
It's polite.
Hello, Eiko. What can I help you with?
Just wondering, what other preparations we should make if we're going to be visiting the king. I know they're going to be asking, they're still going to be mindset focused on still arranging that deal with them getting higher form of defenses from you, but they say that the noblest, we're told that it's noble, very, very, very honor focused, very, I don't know, I'm a little weary, I guess, of it.
I have to agree with you. After hearing some of the guests that they had at the party.
Couldn't have just been ignorant to it, though. I wouldn't be surprised if a newer king is ignorant to a lot of that.
I guess it's possible. We have known Kezes especially to be deceitful in the past.
I realized something not very good when I saw Kezes. I saw him. He found me first. I'd done dealings with him beforehand, and I never put two and two together.
You mean as a count?
Yes.
You know what?
Simple trading and him using my waters since I own a chunk of the ocean. Well, not a chunk of the ocean. I'm not that. I'm not that worthy of blood, but he was around my property and I'd let him sail his boats through.
You got a port.
I have a port.
The wrench that Abe's using is going to slip from a bolt real quick, and he just goes, fuck. You know, Eiko, I've actually been wondering, how did you become a count? I know it's not something you're born into, and you don't seem to talk about your family as if they were counts before you, so...
It's a bit of a heavy subject. And,
I mean, we have
I don't
time.
talk about it as much in the sense that it would change a lot of people's perspective on me. I was a much different man in my youth. Yet here I'm saying in my youth, and yet you're 400 years old. Isn't that a little backwards?
A little bit, but it's a bit odd to deal with. None of us are the same from what we used to be.
No.
Emphasis on your brother.
Are you sure you really would like to know?
Do I want to know more about my friend? Of course I do.
Eiko pauses for a moment at Abe saying, friend, considering how, I guess not too long ago, he said he didn't really care about anybody and didn't really have any way to connect with people. And he's acknowledged, he kind of nods his head, kind of acknowledging Abe's growing. Well, I did not start out a wealthy man. I inherited a lot. I was hired, chosen, quite hired. In my youth, I was quite a strapping fighter. Well, I fight a lot differently compared to when I was younger, but
I was going to say, it doesn't look like it's changed
a little
very much.
bit. It's changed. I've changed. I certainly have, but let's say a woman of immeasurable status wanted me to work for her. She was part of a small cabal, almost. Collection of hidden wealth and power. Her name was Diathundress. She was a blue dragon, as were the other members of the cabal. Just a small,
a cabal.
basically a clique, like a private sort of. Think like
a secret society.
Yep.
The
Kind of like
Illuminati could be considered a cabal.
Illuminati.
So what you're saying is y'all were essentially the Blue Man Group?
I wouldn't say it was more like Teletubbies, considering the amount of colors now.
Oh my goodness.
Colors!
But,
Like this. Did
there
you learn
were
number
dragons.
letters too?
Painting with all the colors of the winds, my friend.
Okay.
Shush, Lord drop.
Respectfully, back pen, neat, funny.
But, each dragon of the cabal had what they called an executioner. Not quite guillotine and punishment type, more of someone to execute their plans in a literal sense. And she saw potential in me. She said, study up, come back to me. I want you to have a little bit more drive, and I will have you rewarded. went off, studied with elves, and learned blade singing.
So that's where you
She
landed.
took me in under... Well, I guess you could say she took me in under her wing. At first, it started with land disputes and little petty squabbles between each member of the cabal. And with each thing I did for her, the more money, the more status I got. I'm ashamed of a lot of the stuff I've done under order of that dragon. Certain places didn't like dragons, and she wanted to be in certain places. She didn't want to draw up any attention, so she'd sent her executioner to deal with the situation.
I see.
He wanted me to do things quietly. I would make storms for her. 6 villages. Six.
Damn, and you call me a monster.
I'm ashamed to say it took me 6 villages to realize what I was doing. I knew what I was doing, but it never hit me until 6. I fled. I did what I could, took my money, and I ran. Funny thing is, the Cabal would turn on each of their executioners. As I left, I consider myself lucky in a way. They all looked at each other, looked at their executioners, and decided, why do we need them anymore? We've got all the land we want. We have all the money we need. We shouldn't be sharing it with these ants. These other people, as ruthless as I, gone within a snap, you could say. I hid, and I tried to start a new life. With that money, I'd purchase land, and I became a count. I got the right connections with the right people, started over. Even through that, found love. I started a family after that. It was wonderful. Thundress didn't think so. She came back, took that away from me. Lucky to have my daughter, or had my daughter.
Are you saying
Thundress is no longer an issue to me. I took what was hers.
Are you saying that she killed your daughter?
No, my wife, my daughter was fine.
Your wife?
I was lucky. I still had some. The people I cared about.
Okay.
And of course, my daughter now knows what I've done. And she's gone. You're building a kingdom. Don't let temptation turn you into me.
Well, I wasn't planning to, but maybe
Neither was I.
Maybe safe to have a couple advisors that I trust, willing to help me keep me on track.
You know, the dragons did something while I was an executioner. For each of their executioners, they bestowed upon them something that could, should they get out of control, which, judging by what I've told you, I think you know they have, had. They each made blades for their executioners. And you've seen mine.
Well, to be honest, seeing as how all the executioners were killed, it doesn't seem to have done them much good.
They weren't me, is the thing. Anybody with the right technique can make anything a weapon. When you have something gorgeously crafted like this, let's say it's like a butter knife through butter.
Hot knife through butter.
Are you saying that I should have something for each of you that would be able to stop me if I get out of control?
I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, don't be me.
I see. Keep that in mind.
You're a smart man. I have faith in you.
Well then.
Now. When do you think everybody else will be getting back to the Seraphim?
Well, I don't know, but I was hoping to have the table done. Can you check something? All I need you to do, if you see the control panel.
The what? I was gonna look at you. The what?
There are 3 lights on the control panel. I just need you to tell me when they turn green.
Fair enough. Now what's the magic word?
If you please.
I make you shit.
You haven't made me shit. I do my own shit.
I made you a fucking Kain, asshole.
Yeah, it's great. It's great for knocking people's ankles.
It's for.
Okay, back a moment.
All right. So, Eiko walks over to the control panel and is looking at it, observing it.
Abe's going to fiddle with a couple things.
One of the screens kind of flashes red a little bit.
It's looking red.
Oh.
Is there anything on the control panel's end that I should do if there's red?
No, I'll take care of it. Abe's going to readjust slightly.
Abe just kicks it.
The screens proceed to 2 screens now are lit up. One of them is still kind of flashing that little red. The other one's kind of has like this odd symbol on it and stuff. Hazardous symbol.
You know what? Can
Well, that-
Eiko work something on the panel really quickly? Can I fiddle with it?
Sure.
Eiko's gonna push a button. Self-destruction sequence engaged.
Hold the fuck on. I'm smart as shit.
You're working with shit you have no idea about, sir.
Oh, what are you talking about? I can pick things up.
You're an
pretty
old
quickly.
man with technology. Do I need to explain more?
I'm a count. So what would I do for this? What should I roll under? Wouldn't be Arcana.
I mean,
Would it just be like a straight intelligence roll?
I would say so, but that's up to Salt.
The cat
Yeah.
looks stoned.
It would be intelligence check.
Ooh, shakalaka, that's a natural 20.
The old man miraculously
Okay,
figures out, I push this button.
Kain, please zip it.
Miraculously? What do you mean? I'm a learned man. It's not too different from magic.
Looks at a yellow covered book saying "Dummy's Guide to
Dummy's Guide to Abe Technology.
Yeah.
Dummy's Guide to Old World Tech. Anyway, so
No, no. It has a wiggler on it. Crap guide to A's mechanics. Listen up, bitch. It's a crap guide.
Anyways, so you proceed fiddling with the screen at least, and the third screen kind of kicks online, and I'm actually managed to get a bit of a diagnostic screen with a few things blipping and stuff like. Open up the service, like the system check, just to check the CPU and RAM and all that stuff on the computer.
Like Eiko pulls out like a small little like glasses on chain, just
It appears to be running on some form of electricity.
You actually got a rough idea that the system's trying to engage, but like needs a little bit of a oomph.
oh, I just like take my hands, rub my horn, and then just bump.
I would like to remind you, Abe is currently inside the machine.
Oh, it's fine.
No, that happens. No, that proceeds to happen and stuff. Hey, from underneath the table and stuff, you kind of hear Eiko kind of look at it, give a few grunts and stuff.
Eiko, what are
You
you
hear
doing?
a buzzing sound.
All of a sudden, you hear a slight buzzing sound and rubbing. By the sounds of it, I just hear the sound of his hands rubbing together.
Eiko, what are you doing?
And then
I'm
all of a sudden, stuff. You hear and all of a sudden you see bolts of electricity underneath the table, arcing all around you and stuff.
Oh, shit.
A few cables proceed to snap. It just continues. And
Just Abe, like cartoon, shoots out from under the table.
This is a natural 20. Come on.
okay, you proceed to shoot. It's like you proceed to get shot. You're like one of those wheelie carts and stuff that mechanics use to get underneath cars. You go flying up from underneath the table and stuff. You end up going up the wall a little bit and then just face first on your stomach. As you basically do a flip.
Are all the lights now green?
The screens are sparking and changing around and stuff. They proceed to fade down. You look at it, kick it really hard. All of a sudden, proceeds to be green.
All set. All green.
System online.
How about that?
I don't know what the fuck just happened, but
All the old man magic.
Okay.
Professional
Abe's gonna
term is percussive maintenance.
percussive maintenance.
It's
Abe's gonna
different.
stand up and go over to the control panel, looking at what
You're
Eiko did
smoking
here.
slightly. Just saying, you're smoking slightly with bits of streams and stuff and fuse marks.
Or like all the diagnostics like running amazingly now.
Optimal charge level running at 10,000% efficiency.
Well, how about that?
Abe's just looking at the screen like,
Proceeds to look at Ayako.
I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what you did, but it seems to have worked. I was adjusting
Please tell-
mechanical pieces and you somehow bypassed everything.
I'm smart.
Don't
You
look
defied
again for us
physics.
in the
He
south.
just kicked it.
You defied physics, old man.
Well, hey,
You know what? Hold on.
What can I say?
Hold on.
Roll an
Let's see if this
investigation.
actually worked. Abe's gonna like hit a couple buttons, type in like put a couple inputs in.
Got a nat 20, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
DM, this is the light version of the table. It's no longer pins.
So, what exactly happens?
So Abe is putting a bunch of
Hands
inputs
off
in.
the wheel.
Abe's putting a bunch of inputs in as the table lights up. Just fully, it's almost like a solid screen of light across the table. As shapes form up made of pure light. Almost, like, pretty much exactly like a hologram of the current surroundings, including the Seraphim, the crater from the
Like a hard light hologram.
like a hard light hologram.
Yeah.
That also
I'll-
shows 2 pinpoints in the middle of, or at the helm of the Seraphim, labeled A and E. Well then,
So,
somehow, whatever the hell you did, it got this fully functional. Thank
Abe,
you.
would you
You're
like to
welcome.
zoom in? Okay, I'm curious. Is it like top panel only, or can you use your hands to adjust it?
Think you know how the
Like
how
Iron
these
Man.
darts or Iron Man's.
Yeah, where you can literally just like
Grab it.
grab it and zoom.
It's
Yeah.
a manipulatable hologram.
Literally
That's
just
what he
moves it,
refers to them.
just reaches his hands out, grabs the hard light hologram, and just grabs it and throws it up as it zooms in, and suddenly we are able to see a perfect hologram overlaying the entire room, especially even where we're standing.
And I it's just like Eiko looking at hologram, Eiko looking at hologram, Eiko looking at hologram, Eiko looking at hologram, Eiko looking at
Pretty much.
hologram, Eiko.
Anyway,
Except it's all in like minuscule layers.
as you guys get back closer into it, everyone proceeds to gather back and enjoy celebrate time. The week proceeds to go by relatively quickly, and it's a day of the party, and everyone is currently basically another message got sent basically the morning of, basically said, hey, head to the town square of this area, a ride will be sent for you, at least. And essentially you guys head to the town square and proceed to, what is that? Dare, what is that?
Drugs.
Nothing. Nothing.
Worried. Anyway, so you guys proceed to town square, and carriages proceed to pull up. One carriage for the main party, and a very elegant looking wagon proceeds to pull up behind them. At least with what looks like to be 4 very large bulls, like much longer than your standard steers. I'm gonna say, like, standing and basing, like from the bottom of the ground to the tops of their back and stuff, it's gonna be sitting at like 6 feet high and stuff. These are big bulls,
God damn!
and just by the and just by the sheer look of them, you can tell that they are absolutely ripped, yoked beyond their minds.
So who's in that cart?
It's completely empty. The little person driving said cart, at least, Master proceeds to swallow hard. Kain, your ride is here.
Hey, bitches! I get my own ride.
Or
Just
would
because you
prefer
big as hell and fat, boy.
Do I have to go in the carriage though? Can I like not just like yeet?
Well, I will say this: for anyone who looks at the cows or bulls of these, you can tell that these are actually war animals designed for pulling artillery pieces
Oh
around.
my.
Two of them is typically a
Sorry.
All right.
So-
Is there a cover on this wagon?
no, it's just an open bed wagon.
Bet. I'm gonna sit in there looking around.
Kane's like, yeah, bitches.
You can just like
Damn
wave
right
at
I am.
people like you're in the
I'm like,
Macy's
hey.
Thanksgiving Day parade.
I'm about, hold on, Abe. Can you have one of the old guys throw me down a barrel?
We're in the middle of the city.
Fuck. All right.
Anyway,
Can you pull me one out of your stash?
I don't carry them all the time.
You don't have alcohol on you? What the fuck?
My name isn't Thofol.
Ofal, that sounds familiar. I don't know why. Brings me some weird urges whenever I hear that name.
anywho. So then, everyone proceeds to be carted off to the palace itself, and you guys see the palace. It is a rather nice-looking castle, very much well-maintained. It is on a bit of a raised hill, and the walls seem to be very well defended and look rather nice. As you proceed to enter through the main gate into the primary courtyard, and then it kind of parks around to the front door of the castle itself that leads most likely to the main hall. Waiting at the door and stuff for you to disembark the thing and stuff is King Merrick himself, along with what looks like to be two children. One of them is a young man by what looks like maybe what you guess possibly 16, 17, more so leaning on the younger. And then what looks like to be a younger girl. Oh, no older than 13, maybe 14, but most likely not. Standing, both of them wearing somewhat regal but very simple royal garb, are standing next to their father, the king. Along with that, Reese and Vander are there as well.
How old are the kids?
So the girl is 13 and the son is 16.
Damn. I was going to say, if they're young enough, they probably won't see me as scary and would probably play. And I'd distract children and it would be fun. Like I treat my younger siblings, how I throw them around like ragdolls.
Well, the way the son sees you and stuff is he disdain and hate. You can tell that from his just body language and face and stuff when he looks at you. At least, but you can tell that he's like doing his best to keep that to himself, but somewhat poorly because you read it
I
wrong.
want to know why. Is
You
it
are
purely out of my appearance or is there some other problem?
You look like a monster, that'd be why.
Yes. But the younger girl actually has a bit of an intrigued look by you. Not
All right,
one
give me,
of
like, a minute. I'll be right back. I gotta go grab some meds. I can't take this anymore. I'll be right back.
Like the idea of Eiko's just
Abe
looking
knows
at
what I'm talking.
Oh,
Darren
no.
knows what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Like the idea Eiko's just looking at the king like with two kids like, oh no, he's got pity points because he has children and he's gonna be a lot nicer because he has kids, so it makes him more sympathetic. Rain, we need leverage too.
Got you, Pops. I got you, Pops.
I have
Why are
kids
you so
too.
worried with that? And like, is that your little black book of? Oh no!
Actually, Reyna and Retlo might actually separate for this.
And just start running around and eating flowers.
Not
So the
flowers.
Anyway, so the party proceeds to disembark from the thing standing in front of the carriage that brought you into the palace, and everyone's collectively lined up in front of the rides and stuff as introductions have been made. The king, Malric, thank you for accepting my invitation and stuff. The two children I brought with me today are my son and daughter and stuff. He just the boy. This is Eric. He is my eldest, and this is Elizabeth. And so both of them proceed to give a bow and curtsy in return. The boy just remains quiet and stuff. Elizabeth does look rather happy, like excited, but not like extremely so. Oh, like a subtle excitement. Yeah, I think that works. A subtle excitement. Well, it is a great pleasure to meet you all.
I'm back.
Ow.
I should hope the areas are properly secured.
Oh, absolutely. Reese actually chimes up for that one. They have Eiko. We quadrupled our defenses just for this visit, just to make sure there weren't any more incidents.
Was considered an unlucky number in quite a few countries. Why not quintuple it, if at all possible?
I would if I had the manpower, ma'am.
Ah,
Well, it's good to see that you did anything at all, Reese. Didn't seem you liked us very much last time we met.
Hey,
She doesn't take the bait.
Damn.
She simply doesn't. She just turns away and just like goes back to a bit of a stoic look, kind of looking in the distance, almost. But you can tell that she's vigilant, wearing her armor, like she did beforehand.
Retlo's gonna clap. So,
food?
Yes, from the reports from what I got from the servants, I presumed as much. Here, follow me.
so
Y-
Retlo
y-
is gonna definitely follow. Reyna is actually gonna stay back with the main group since they're gonna split.
Okay. Before you split apart and stuff, it's like, yeah, can you do the whole thing? Like, just explain the whole thing with the whole separating real quick.
Okay,
Like, it's
so
more comfortable when you're just gonna separate and be
Well, did you go together, or were you going separated already?
they probably are separated already so that they don't like.
Oh,
Well,
okay. Never mind.
yeah.
Never mind then. So then, you guys proceed to follow the king itself. There are various typical of royal houses, many paintings, sculptures, degrees of art, but not as Eiko. You notice the quickliest at least, not as many as you typically see. There's normally a lot more. Typically, it's like painting 4 or 5 feet of space, another painting, but it's more like painting 12 feet of space, another painting. Almost like there's much more spaced out. Or there's fewer of them. Yes?
What did I miss?
You guys are at the palace. You met the son and daughter of Malric, Elizabeth, and Eric. Eric
Must
being
be a
the eldest.
fun.
The son doesn't like me at all for some reason.
This will be a fun episode to listen to.
Oh, believe me, I think you're going to be rather interested in what you're going to hear.
I say that because I've been called down 5 times tonight.
Anyway, so then, you guys proceed to enter the garden section, and the garden is actually in a bit of a courtyard. At least there is a small fountain in the center, square shaped. Proceeding to go deal, and there seems to be what looks like to be a stone. I don't want to say obelisk, but maybe You know what? I'll be blunt with it. It looks like to be a memory stone, or kind of headstone-y. It looks like a big
Memorial stone.
Memorial stone, thank you. Memorial stone with what looks like to be a knight, but much, like, smaller for some reason. At least. And there is a very nice, elegant table set up with various dishes and platters of food set out. At least. Retlo and Reyna, you two immediately hit the table and stuff and hop in, and you begin piling your plates full of food.
It's perfect.
Rest of the party, reactions?
So,
It's a lovely garden you have. I can eye some of these flowers myself. Had some of my staff plant a few of these outside of my estate.
It,
Lovely.
like the fairy tales I used to read.
Elizabeth kind of
Is she really hard to hear for anyone else?
Elizabeth proceeds to chime up with the flower comment. Oh, so you enjoy the flowers themselves. They're like this very lightish, pinkish blue. They're pink flowers and stuff, but they have like this very light, almost like light blue-esque rim around the tips of the flowers and stuff, and they're somewhat cone-shaped, but they kind of curl towards the edge of the flowers. Oh, so you
I
like...
think your sister was trying to say something, bro.
Yes, sis?
She was just really quiet.
I said my full thing. She was complimenting the flowers, saying that they were like the fairy tales she read and that they were very pretty.
Yeah, she was just really quiet when she said it the first time.
So then. Oh, so you like the, Savrada? Michaeleen, the second she says that, you immediately perk up, because she spoke Sylvan.
In Sylvan... What does Salvrada in Sylvan translate to in common?
Kind of translates to, the common name for the flowers are known...
Wait.
Yes?
Did you so you described pink and blue flowers?
Yeah.
Are they hydrangeas?
Yes, they're hydrangeas.
Yay!
They're commonly known as hydrangeas in common tongue, but in Sylvan, Savrandan.
Hearing the Sylvan word for it and instead of the common word for it, he looks at her and asks in Sylvan, what other flowers are here?
The second you say that stuff, she immediately gets more perky and stuff, and kind of the whole, like, royal saltiness and stuff proceeds to kind of just get tossed out the window, as she proceeds, like, kind of, like, darting towards you, and proceeds, like, kind of grabbing you by the arm, walking you around, pointing out all the different flowers, naming them in Sylvan.
I guess we just have a full-on conversation in Sylvan about the flowers.
The Melrick and stuff, I'm kind of slightly surprised, so wasn't made up. Huh. I thought she was just using some made-up language. Huh. Shit. So Elizabeth comes to maybe, like, your hip at most. For a height.
Okay. Is she a halfling?
No,
Child.
half-elf.
Half-elf. Okay.
Half-elf child.
anyways,
Again,
Your
how-
Highness, let's cut to
Oh.
the chase as to why we're here.
If you'd like to, we can. He simply proceeds just to grab a cup and just takes a sip out of it, not even proceeding to sit down. Like, similar to his daughter,
Abe's got a fucking notebook and shit.
he simply proceeds to just take the royal regal. So, Eiko, you pick up on this immediately. That the air of not arrogance, but royal energy that he was giving out before completely vanishes. Now he just has the same energy as like a common man, common working man. and stuff, as he just kind of sighs and proceeds just to almost relax, like he's in his own home.
You don't see a king before you. You see a man.
Yeah, you do not see a king. You see a man.
Start with the man in the mirror.
I'm talking to the man in the mirror.
Okay.
He's saying that you're fat.
Zip it. Anyway. Reese is still her same self, but slightly more relaxed. Eric, though, is still as tight as a drum. Still as tight as a strong drum.
Tight as a drawn bow.
That. As tight as a bowstring.
Well,
Drawn bowstring.
let's get the elephant out of the room first. Obviously, our first welcome to your country has not gone well.
Absolutely. It has not. And I'm very ashamed of that.
I was looking forward to our partnership, but I can't even be safe at one of your dinner parties. Am I going to be shot in the neck at every party?
Not
Hopefully
to mention the consent of your subjects. They were also in danger.
To put
Well, this is why he is in need of our assistance.
exactly, Count Eiko.
Aiko's posture is going to change, and he's going to, from like the more strict, like countly sort of
If you
position
can,
he himself relaxes as well and kind of looks at Abe and then kind of everyone else and kind of just nods.
if you cannot protect your subjects in the middle of your city, what makes you think you can protect them while on the battlefield?
He kind of mulls that over a little bit. I don't know. To put
I wouldn't blame him entirely, though. I know who was there.
You do.
I did,
kind of
yes.
work up to that. So who did it?
I was very familiar with the strategy and form of magic he used. A spectre veil. Hired hit. I have the misfortune to say I have been in his presence and have known people who have worked with him. The man knows how to disappear and enter any way he pleases. If I'm to be honest, this could have happened to anybody, unfortunately. You, for a king, I've noticed something. You definitely try to put your people far before yourself, don't you?
Absolutely.
You
Yeah,
don't
I know.
particularly sit in as much of a luxurious lap as, well, most monarchs do in a sense, do you?
Money could be spent elsewhere.
May I make a deal with you, by chance?
And what deal is this? And the tone he said that in shows a degree of not annoyance, but not in the sense that he's annoyed by the deal, but more so just I'm trying to figure out the best way to explain this.
He feels ashamed of his
Having to make
lack.
small deals. Yeah, his lacking and degree of having to talk, thing of that nature.
He's not as...
Yeah.
He's fresh.
Yeah.
The princess is the king's daughter, right?
Yes, his youngest.
I'd like to make a deal. Oh, sorry, were you about to go?
I was just gonna say that after she gets done showing Michaeleen all the flowers, he starts to sing her a lullaby or a song that Melia sang him when he was a little younger than her. It's a
Oh.
song in Sylvan.
I'm also curious why she was curious about me.
Big monster.
Well, no, there's actually a legit reason for that. We'll just wait and see.
Don't tire me.
Michaeleen's playing in the distance and stuff, and she's actually, she's doing her best to keep up with the wording, but it's like
She's clapping along and enjoying.
yeah, she's trying to translate the words from Sylvan to common, but like mixing it up like every other word.
Now, I have a proposition that could benefit both you and I.
Yes, Eiko?
I would like to purchase a sum of your land. Small sum. And I would like to be able to run some of my business through there and bring traction to your city. And of course, I would give you a sum of profit.
I presume 40, 60, 60 to your benefit?
I was thinking more 2080.
45, 55.
And who gets the bigger portion?
Well, I'm going to be putting in most of the costs for when it comes to sending trade and whatnot throughout your land.
For you, it's passive income.
Well, yeah.
We'll work out the proper logisticals. I'll be shipping spices. I'll be shipping spices, yams, exotics of that nature.
I see. Well, products will certainly be used. Will certainly be used here.
Just that corner that I will own will be a nice, should we say, port for more trade around your land.
I see.
Something to help grow you.
Okay.
After this dinner, perhaps, well, not dinner, after this picnic, perhaps we can sign off on it.
Of course, of course. That seems...
And Eiko kind of looks over to Abe and nods. He was kind of doing this trade deal to give an example of how the king is sort of operating in this sort of estate. Sort of an Eiko saying, be gentle. Now, Abe.
Your Highness, we have
should
a
now
deal
leave.
that I will help to arm your country in order to help you win the yearly battle with Mandax.
Mhm.
We had set this up more so as I was not getting anything in return. We're going to change that now.
Absolutely. I would expect nothing less.
As you know, I am starting the city, taking a section out of Mandax.
Something I like to hear.
I would like to have free passage through your lands for trading routes.
Say that once again, Kain coughed.
I would like to have free passage through your lands for trading routes.
Granted. Anything else?
A supply line for materials.
Granted as well. Anything else?
Storage warehouses in the main city.
Of course. Abe, to put simply, anything you ask, you're most likely going to get. You got shot at one of my galas. I failed to protect, actually, which is one of the primary goals as a king of the thing. I have to make up for that greatly.
The king of the thing.
As long as your requests aren't completely insane, and you're most likely going to happen. You don't know how much this means to me and stuff. Hell, I would trade the entire kingdom if it means I can have your weapons defending them.
Then you wouldn't need the weapons to begin with, but
Yes, well, this whole debacle has pointed something out to me. There are no protections from this sort of thing. Someone shooting from that far away is not something you can really defend against. Or at least not easily. And I've come up with a solution for that.
He kind of chuckles at how quickly.
Abe is going to pull a small disc out of his pocket and toss it in front of the king. As the center of the disc lights up, and a wall of light shoots up from it in like a conal figure. Abe's also going to pull out his gun and shoot at the king.
And everyone, Reese immediately darts and stuff her best, but kind of failing. And the shot proceeding to dissipate, rebound.
The shot hits the wall of light and immediately shatters. Not the light, the bullet shatters as it hits the wall.
And the shrapnel goes everywhere.
There is no shrapnel. It completely disintegrates.
Oh, so... Okay. Bloody hell, what the fuck was that?
The solution.
You could have told me you were going to give a live demonstration. You could have given me a warning when you were going to give a live demonstration.
What better way to show you that it works?
I don't know, shoot a target?
This was
You
more
could have
fun.
shot at me.
This was also more fun and gratifying.
Plus, shooting a still target doesn't exactly have the same message-sending capability as shooting a live person does. After all,
This also
could've
shows
shot me.
you. This also showed you two things. One, my technology works. Your god does not.
Fighting words.
Reese, hearing that, proceeds to get pissed, and this is the first time you see her genuinely riled up. As she kind of stomps up to you. Oh, you did something unpredictable. How was I supposed to suggest such a thing?
Kane's gonna pipe up. You've got to predict the unpredictable, sweetheart.
Abe's not even gonna look at her and still be looking straight at the king. If you can't even predict a simple shot from at a table, how do you expect to predict anything? How do you plan to protect a king when you can't protect him 5 feet away from him?
and how can you be being so sure to trust the company that the king keeps?
You let me walk in here with guns. You didn't even check.
Eiko's kind of looking a bit disappointed when he kind of tried to give the be gentle signal earlier.
Abe is not gentle.
He's at his limit.
Abe got shot in the neck at one of his parties. He's pissed.
Abe, could you please stop antagonizing Reese? I get the picture. Is there really need to rub my nose in the fact I failed? Does that do you anything besides enjoyment?
Just proving a point.
That was already proven. You being shot was proof enough I failed. Do you think I don't know do you really think I don't know I'm failing my kingdom as a leader?
No,
Leader.
I already knew that you knew that. You just needed to admit it.
Eiko's gonna look to Abe. All right. You, me. Let's take a little walk. Okay?
And who are you saying that to?
Abe.
Okay.
Abe's gonna look at Eiko. Fine. And look back at the king. You can keep that, by the way.
Thanks.
Eiko's just gonna gently, not gently, is just gonna like nod over to Frabe to follow him, and he's just gonna start, I guess, strolling through the gardens.
Abe is going to follow.
Abe. What happened at the gala was unacceptable. We know this. The king knows this. You keep rubbing it in. He can cancel the deal and pull out, and you won't be able to take that land and add it to your city. Think.
See, unfortunately, the point that I've proven here shows that he needs my technology.
Abe, step down. He knows he needs the technology. Everyone here knows he needs the technology. You don't need. Try and keep proving a point that you've already proven. Don't be me. Understand? If you want to be a strong leader, be strong enough to be gentle.
Gentle doesn't always work.
Though it may not always work in the face of certain people. I find the more that you will connect with other people, the more you'll start to understand. Everyone's a little bit different.
Yes, well, it's hard to understand incompetence.
That's why he already knows he needs our help. There's guiding incompetence into greatness, and there's shaming incompetence and doing it yourself. We want them to guide themselves into being better, don't we?
To a point.
My point is, just because we can doesn't mean it's the right thing. It doesn't hurt to step down on somebody's level as well.
Fine. Yes, you make a good point. I did
Thank
go
you
a bit too
very
far.
much, Abe.
But I still see it as justified.
While you may see it as justified, put yourselves on their level. That's all. We all know. You can tell us how justifiable it was when we get back to the server.
As you guys
And Eiko's gonna lead him back over. My apologies, Your Highness.
none taken. You can certainly tell that the king very much has a tired expression on his face, but it's like he's tired but putting up with it. At least. So
We'll have someone come in and talk about which land you would be willing to. We'll talk about the lines of the land and property and whatnot. I'll have someone sent. And within, say, 2-3 weeks, by chance, we can get some trade coming in on my end.
of course. Well then, in that case, then, and Abe, to all the things that were given and stuff, are they to your liking? The king.
You'll have your equipment within a month.
Thank you. Thank you. And first installment of payment shall come in as soon as it arrives.
Mine shall be within the week.
Thank you, Count Eiko.
And Eiko bows.
He returns the favor. Not as deeply as you probably put it, but enough to get the point across.
Yeah, I bow deeper to the king. He's above me,
Yes.
but it's still very respectful that he bow back.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say I'm a count anymore, baby.
Oh my
Wait,
goodness.
so that's
Marquis.
Marquet, yes.
Oh, what? Oh, actually, speaking of which, Count Eiko, that does sound very nice. How about Marquis then? Since you are purchasing some of my land,
Well,
it has a better ring to it.
you figured it out already.
He kind of smirks at that a little bit, but that tiredness is most certainly still there.
You figured me out.
Well then, I presume. So, Count Eiko, I presume you'd like to do drinks to celebrate when your business venture gets off the ground, I presume?
Been about a week. I'd say you've got my bottle of Merlot, haven't you?
I'll get several ready then.
Oh my goodness.
So, Michaeleen is kind of wandering about the garden this time by himself, and Elizabeth is kind of walking back towards her. Actually, she's walking towards Kain at the moment. One moment, I have to walk to use the restroom.
So,
Ew. Wait.
That was the most I ever got to really do with Eiko in this entire fucking game. Yeah!
Yeah.
Yeah. We hope to do more.
Marquez, baby.
I'm just waiting to be able to do funny moment TM. It's what I was made for. It's what I live for, darling.
It's like Marquez. I'm feeling it. My children
Rocky
unite into one big
Eiko.
child.
Oh, hey, look. We have a siren on the phone.
Oh no, she's the DM now.
You like it when I DM. You really like it
I
when
was just, it's like, you've taken over. I'm gonna have to change count from Marquez.
I heard. I've been keeping an ear out. I'm just waiting for. What the hell is this?
Toxic waste.
It's a sandwich.
I would not like.
I might like it.
It's sour candy.
When you're towering over me like a Golympus.
Go Lumpus.
Some species of Goliath.
I dropped names for
Yes.
yours.
You-
I'm and he is.
So then, so Elizabeth is actually making her way towards Kain. Nate,
I've been talking this entire fucking time. Literally, I said to Estrella that she should come say hi.
Repeat that, please.
Before you went into Salt's chambers, I literally said, "Hey, Estrella, now's your chance to come say hi."
I did.
And nobody heard me say it.
Because you were muted.
I've been talking. I told Eiko, the way you say marquee makes my brain hurt. And then I was telling Dare, I really think it would be really funny to have a Law and Order SVU
Marquez.
button.
No,
Marquez is the proper term. Marquee is
S
the Hollywood term.
silence.
I'm
The
cold.
S is silent. It is marquee.
I'm so
Yeah.
Okay.
cold. I don't like being cold.
All right, Google's gonna determine this.
anyway, so then,
Hold on, no. But yeah, no, literally, I had been talking the entire time, and then I said, well, Eiko was adjusting himself, and now Eiko is presenting his titties.
I'm not presenting any titties.
No, when you were adjusting yourself, it was just chest.
My bad. Choose thy fate.
All right, hold on.
I'm sorry, biologically, he doesn't
What is
have
the
nipples.
correct pronunciation of marquee?
That's a confusing statement.
Go away. I'm busy with D&D.
I'm sorry, Eiko, you are wrong.
Marquess.
It's pronounced marquee,
Marquess.
and it's pronounced marquee.
Write it out that
Anyway,
way.
That's the. No, hold on.
Hey,
Eiko. Marquess is
Yeah.
the female
is spelled
version.
with an I.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Marquee is the male version.
and you
You've
Damn
been calling
it.
yourself
are
a woman for the last 10 minutes.
Eiko believes that gender is a social construct. Marquee,
No.
Eiko, it is.
We're gonna see Eiko walk out with a long wig now.
His hair's already long.
It's gonna have ponytail.
Ponytail.
He already does.
So what all did I miss while I was down
Okay.
finishing shit?
so
I'm a
essentially-
Marquee now.
Okay, so you imagine a really good heart-to-heart between Eiko and Abe. Basically, Eiko telling Abe, "Stop being so aggressive," as if he gets it.
Oh,
yeah.
you missed it. So
Yeah.
Abe shot at the king.
With a force field device. So he basically tossed out a shield puck in front of the king. It proceeds to pop open, and then he shoots it. To both prove a point and show the tech works. At least. Both
And then we
antagonizing
we
the king
berated
and his
fucking
guard.
Reese.
Yeah.
Am I still entertaining the princess?
You
No, she's
have-
walking towards me now.
So you did your entertainment and stuff. She's walking towards Kain now because she got a secondary look at him. Is now new person to visit with, and you're looking at the garden. At least she thanks you and Sylvan. Thank you for the music and entertainment. Much better than any of the minstrels I've heard. Anyway,
Deep bow.
Kain. All of a sudden, Elizabeth kind of walks up towards you, at least, and she looks somewhat curious. Most people keep about like a 5 foot to 6 foot distance between you. She's right up like literally a foot away from you and stuff, like very intriguingly, like looking you up and down and stuff, like looking up at your face, and then just kind of observing you.
All right.
What are you? She
What?
inquires.
What did you say? I was coughing.
What are you? I've never
That
seen...
is a long explanation.
Well, you're certainly not of any creature of this plane. And
I'm human.
really, with hide as black as night, claws as sharp as, I presume, daggers, and horns as noble as a bull? Well, I doubt
And
that.
with jaws that can probably crush bone, but yes.
You seem similar to a bridge troll than anything else, or minotaur?
Rude.
He's not a bridge troll. He's nice. He's got lots of issues, but he means well.
I mean,
Now
my
he's a
brother was
troll.
a human once too.
Exactly.
Pointing at Abe.
You have no right to judge him just by his appearance.
He's not judging. The brother's judging me. She's just...
No, okay, I am doing no judging of the sort, just...
The sisters.
I'm merely comparing... I'm more so comparing him to a bridge troll via stature.
Well, I was originally about 6'7". Then something happened, and now I look like this.
Oh, I wonder what something would do to turn you into such a thing.
Long story short, shit happened when I was a child. Got shadow powers. Here I am now.
Wait. You see him all over. Shut up. Vulnerable. Spoken Sylvan as Bonoba, Place of Shadow.
The shadow plane.
She doesn't know what the shadow plane is and stuff, but only Vadoba, which is Place of Shadows. Equivalent name. Anyway. I must talk... She mumbles to herself in Sylvan at least. I wonder if Miss Willow could tell me a bit more about the shadow plane then. And Michaeleen, you pick up
What
on
do you
that.
want? What do you want to? Well, yeah, because I wouldn't know what she's
No,
saying.
you don't know Sylvan. But Michaeleen, you pick up on a name and stuff. Miss Willow.
Do I need to roll in a history check?
Sure. Roll a history check on dryads.
Oh. Miss Willow. Okay. I have a +3 to history. I don't think you should be eating chocolate.
Cats can eat chocolate,
Can they?
as far as I know.
Probably would still keep it to small amounts.
That's an
They really
18
shouldn't eat dairy,
plus
but we
3,
still let
19,
them.
20, 21 on history.
Okay. You hear Miss Willow and immediately start kind of thinking back, and so I'm putting two to go. Wait a minute. She's listing off various plants, rather complicated plants.
No, cats should not be eating chocolate.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Oh, my grandfather used to let them lick his ice cream bowl out.
More of that. Little scamp.
Anyway, so essentially you start putting two and two together, at least that she's speaking Sylvan, pointing out various plants and stuff around. She even pointed out a few bugs and insects that you guys found while you guys were shooting off the garden in Sylvan names. You pick out that Miss Willow has to be a dryad. And then the name of Miss Willow? Dryads typically do not have names. If anything else, they identify themselves by what tree or basically the host tree is at most, but typically they don't even have names. The only times they have names, like for example Melia, is if they deal with mortals a bunch and they accept the first name that's given to them and take it as that. At least. So with Melia being in the middle of a city, which is a bit odd, she had
The
a
city
name.
kind of grew up around her.
Yes, that too at least. But she's had that name for many, many years. Here's at least. Miss Willow just goes by Miss Willow because she doesn't deal with people. So you quickly pick up and stuff. Okay, there's okay, you get a very strong inclination. You need to visit with this Miss Willow yourself.
I look at the princess, and in Sylvan, I ask her, "This Miss Willow, is she one of the Earth Mother's daughters, a dryad?"
I'm also gonna ask Michaeleen, can you have her translate whatever she just said?
So anyway, so what was the thing you guys saying?
I asked her in Sylvan, "This Miss Willow, is she a daughter of the Earth Mother, a dryad?"
Oh, elder daughter of Earth Mother.
Hearing that, Michaeleen shows his dryad's blessing.
She rattles off the name of it in Sylvan. I don't want to come with it. Put it this way, I want to work on the name so it sounds pretty in Sylvan, so I'm working. Ebrethil, so. Wait, you have an Ebrethil? From whom? Who did you receive it from?
Milia of Kaidla.
Oh,
It was the last thing she ever did.
my condolences. I know. Miss Willow told me what happened to her. All dryads are connected, and when one leaves, they know it.
This conversation is still happening in Sylvan, yeah?
Of course, but very, very somber.
Man, so I'm just standing here like, interesting.
Meanwhile, Estrella is just she's writing
Well,
stuff down in her
We have
journal.
nothing similar, but I was given a little thing. And she proceeds to pull out what looked like to be a seed on a very simple, like almost like vine, woven vine necklace kind of thing. And you see that, and Melia had something similar and stuff that she had around her neck.
And I need to learn Sylvan somehow.
I speak
But
it
she
a
kind
little
of
bit.
looks up
I
at
could teach you.
Do you actually speak Sylvan?
Estrella, it's been a while since Estrella's done it, but she could learn it. Again, she was a messenger. She traveled and dealt with a lot of people.
Is there a way I could just buy a book that'll just poof and teach me? Because I had a ring where I could understand everything, and I mean everything. I could understand the birds talking shit.
Anyway, so, well, I think your rather large friend is getting confused. Come and speak, please.
Very well. Sorry about
Thanks.
that, Kain.
Remembered I can't speak elf.
My apologies, Kain.
Technically speaking, that is not Elven. That is the root language of it. It's the
Yeah,
root
close
language
enough.
of quite a few languages, actually.
I'm gonna start speaking Draconic and shit, and a language native to the Shadow Plane. See how this feels?
To us, it just sounds like.
Did you say you're speaking Draconic?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Draconic and the
Draconic.
native speak of a little bit of speech with
She actually looked
Eiko's
at you,
gonna
Kain.
look over to you and just like in Draconic as well. He just says to you, "Watch your mouth."
Both of you kind of look in horror and stuff as she says one word in Draconic, and it's basically the Draconic word for bitch.
I like this channel. Yes.
She doesn't understand what she means. She doesn't understand what she says at all. She doesn't understand. She just knows how to pronounce the word.
I'm gonna go pat her on the head and tell her, "Go look at that old man," and say that to his face.
Okay. Proceeds to walk over to Eiko. Proceeds to say the word again.
Squirka.
You can't hate her. She's a child.
No, but I can shit in your bed when we get back on the terraform.
Joke's on you. I haven't been sleeping in my bed lately.
Joke's on you.
But when you do,
Bags on bags.
She looks over at Michaeleen. Is that something I should not be saying?
I will pat you on the head.
I don't
For
see-
future reference, don't say that to anybody else except him.
But you said you were done bullying Eiko. Liar.
I'm not the one doing the bullying.
You're encouraging it. Liar.
Anyway.
So it was draconic that was said?
Yeah, it was draconic.
Oh yeah, well then the twins are definitely gonna perk up and be watching this shit
So,
and laughing to themselves.
so essentially what
And are sitting there like they see Eiko get called a bitch by a
so essentially
child.
no one else has touched the food besides
You
Retlo and Reina, and their collective efforts have cleared about like 1/3 of the table of all the food. Nothing but
Okay.
empty dishes.
They're just chilling. They're like, food?
They're
Fuck
like,
yeah?
fucking
I'm gonna get fed?
Vegeta.
Yeah, dude. They straight up are because they never know. They used to live in a way that they never knew. The last 15 years, food has been touch and go. Resources has been touch and go. Fucking shelter
They
has
are
been
not
touch
used
and
to
go.
food in abundance yet.
No, not at all. They have not even been with the party for what, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that at most. Something around similar. I
Speaking of
believe.
which, we accepted them pretty quickly. Just say it.
Yeah. So like
I mean, they were lovable scamps.
they they are definitely lovable scamps, but they still are not used to being able to have things. So everything that they are quote unquote receiving right now or is just being hoarded in like a corner of their room. They eat as much as they possibly can whenever they get food, which they might be going overboard, but to them, all of this is like
They've
they
been
could be
packing
taken
on a
away
few
at
pounds
any
lately.
moment. They're literally they're not like unhealthy anymore because it's not like they were unhealthy before, but like they have a better balance now. Anyway, sorry to go on a tangent about my little baby.
Yes. So, to essentially summarize the scene, so basically, Elizabeth and Michaeleen has a secondary conversation. Sylvan, at least explain the whole Melia, Miss Willow, Elio.
Because the topic came up because I said shadow powers, Child said shadow plane, and Sylvan. Michaeleen perked up because he heard some shit.
Anyway, and essentially, when they swap back to common, Kain starts speaking Draconic. They small little Draconic conversation between Eiko and Kain. She proceeds to say one word in Draconic that she pronounced had the correct tone and pitch to it, but
He said bitch.
yeah, but she has no clue what it means. No clue what it means.
And then I proceeded to tell her to go look at Eiko in his face and say it.
Which she proceeds to do. Confused.
I get a character episode, and I finally feel like I'm actually a part of this group, and then I get reduced to a punchline again. Thanks. Thanks.
Sorry.
They follow each other's punching bags.
Hey. Mainly just tossed in the thing of Draconic just out of sheer funding and stuff. I didn't know.
Honestly, if you guys have anything fun that a cat would be into, like,
Catnip.
he absolutely does have his own.
I would tell him to go
cat
clean
nip.
himself in the other corner, damn it.
Just, I have a lot
Anyway,
of respect
so
for
then.
you, Michaeleen, but try not to. Try to.
Don't leave
stay-
any hairballs.
Well, that too, but also try to stay away from me when you're imbibing in catnip.
We thank you all very much for tuning in to another episode of Fun D&D and Good Friends and Good Company. Please consider liking, subscribing, or heck, when we do streams, feel free to pop in and say hi. Once again, thank you for watching, and have a smooth evening. Whatever that means.